Fancy #1 out of the final 32 in offensive yards per play. He likes to find the big play. He might have him. End zone. 84. Randy Moss.
Oh my God.
Was that Randy?
That was Santana Moss, and you're going to see a lot of guys now going to have the Moss twins on their roster. What a great play right there by Fancy.
Are you guys tired of spending your hard-earned money just to get terrible pack odds? Well, look no further. Visit my sponsor EasyMut.com for the fastest, cheapest, and most reliable Madden 21 coins. Use code JTibbs for 5% off your purchase. Yo, what is going on, YouTube fam? JTibbs back with another video. So I went over J-Wall, a fellow Trips tight end player, but today you see we're going to be going over Fancy, how he made it to the Final 8 in the Club Championship Series. But before we get right into that, we're going to be going over everyone's favorite segment, Roast Me, where you guys get to roast me. Now we're going to go over the funniest roast from last video. Here it is from John Davids. He says, "You look like Randall from Recess." Really? Really? Come on, man. I haven't watched that show in probably 5-10 years. Really? Don't look like him. So if you guys want to see your roast featured in a future video, make sure to leave a comment down below roasting me. Here we go, guys. Go ahead and roast me. Now, if you guys keep up with me on Twitter, you'll notice I lost a bet. I'm gonna have to shave my head on Monday. Already ugly. So guys, you already know the deal. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are rocking with the channel. Almost to 11,000 subs. Let's give it that push. Guys, today's word of the day for some free Madden Ultimate Team coins. All you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and comment the word of the day down below, Fancy, because we're going to be breaking down one of his favorite plays he went to countless times in this club championship. So as you guys know, Fancy, one of the best Trips tight end players in the world, nonetheless one of the best offensive players in the world. I'm going to be breaking down one of his favorite plays to go to, and I'm going to show you guys how he likes to run it. Alright guys, so here we are on offense. I am using the Las Vegas Raiders offensive playbook. He uses that one as well. Now we're going to go to the Trips tight end formation, and you can really go with any play because I am using a hot route master in Brady. But if you don't have the hot route master for your running back or at least running back apprentice, you can go with double in sale. Now this mainly works very well against man-to-man defense, so overall just kind of watch. You guys are going to kind of see how this works and how to really go ahead and take advantage of it. So let's go ahead and put our safety in. We'll put Jaleel Adai in. We're going to go ahead and play a straight man-to-man. So particular in that game clip you saw of him playing Evil Ken liked to play a lot of man. He liked to mix it up on one side with zone and the other side with man. Obviously kind of just play, overall. Now what Fancy was doing was he put the inside slot guy on a crosser, he put our outside guy in an out route, and then he'd put our slot guy on a slant. Now obviously he would delay fade it if you can. Didn't mean to do that, quick snap that right there. But basically what he would do is he would go ahead and put the inside guy on a crosser, more inside slot guy on a slant. He'd maybe delay fade A or even block him, and then he'd put the outside guy on an out route. Now obviously what this is going to do against man is this is going to go ahead and pick up really any type of blitz defense, but at the same time you have a high-low on both sides. And what I mean by that is you can go with your slant with AB, or you can go with your crosser with Chris Godwin. Now you guys are going to notice, again, I'm going to snap it right when he gets to the hip so that I have a lot of room. Your initial read is going to be that Y route if you can get it, and you're going to be able to fit it in there. Now with a block tight end, all is good and dandy, but at the same time, you can leave him, you can streak him, you can do whatever. I'd prefer to streak unless you know they're blitzing. So again, you guys can make the play look like this, motion him outside, and you guys are going to notice that this crosser is going to absolutely torch this man coverage. Now our second read is B, and if I want to, I can pass lead that up and get a nice possession catch on the sideline with AB. But at the same time, our crosser is always going to be our first read. So again, we're going to go with this. We're going to go ahead and hit our crosser once he gets to the outside hip. Snap it right there. And you guys are going to notice with that crosser, I'm able to go ahead and pass lead that down for a nice catch right there. Now Fancy, what he would do, and I'm going to show you an instant replay, is he'd be very patient. He'd step up in the pocket, wait, and see if the slant opened up, or if the user was blitzing, or excuse me, not the user, but if Evil Ken was blitzing, he'd go ahead and analyze the blitz, get it picked up, and let the user choose. Do I want to go with the manned up Y route, or do I want to go with the slant that I should be manually guarding? So let's go into instant replay and break this down. So as you guys see, this is where you ideally want to snap it. Now overall, I love this because the matter of the fact is you're able to go ahead and get the corner on the outside hip. And it really messes with your opponent because that crosser, especially if you have a good route runner such as Chris Godwin, he is going to be able to go ahead and cook him pretty easily. Now Brady, being the great quarterback he is, I can either lob this up to my slant and have a nice little corner pocket near that end zone pylon, or I can throw to my crosser. And it's really which way the user goes. Preferably the user's probably going to go to the crosser because it sees it breaking open, so that leaves me with my slant. But obviously if there's no user, pass lead that down, possession catch it, maybe even rack it if you can, and go with it. So very, very easy. Another thing Fancy would do, and he noticed a lot of his opponents doing this, so if they see this crosser and this slant, they're just going to kind of put the zones here to distract him, get it out of the vicinity, and overall just make it very, very hell for your opponent to go ahead and make those reads. Because again, if you put the 20-yard curl routes out there, they're not going to be able to hit a lob slant, they're not going to be able to hit a lob crosser, any crosser. It's going to be very hard to hit. So what Fancy would do is he would kind of make the same adjustments, but at the same time, he'd go ahead and streak his guy he's motioning. Now, it's very important you guys listen to this. What Fancy would do is he would motion Godwin over, and before he's about to set, he'd snap it, so he kind of gets a little speed burst. You're going to see right here that I'm going to do so, and you guys are going to notice before he sets, I'm going to snap the ball right there. And as you guys see, I get a little speed burst, and I'm able to go ahead and outrun the corner right there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time because he did not catch it, but at the same time, it's not a bad thing if he doesn't. You guys are going to kind of notice that. It's going to be a very easy catch and overall a very easy completion. So again, we're going to go ahead and streak him. You can even fade him if you want to kind of get that that little speed step if you want. But at the same time, you guys are going to notice before he sets, I'm going to snap it right about there. And you guys notice right there, I'm able to go ahead and burn him pretty easily for the nice one-play touchdown. Now, this is very, very important. You don't want to spam this. You want to hit your opponent when they least expect it, because after hitting your opponent with a lot of those crosser dots, those slant dots, maybe even underneath stuff, they're going to play the more shallow field aspect, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you need to understand your opponent may try and obviously get one by on you and by, taking away the depths of the field. But as you guys see right there, I'm able to go ahead again, and if I go ahead and possession catch that, it's going to be an easy touchdown. So Fancy noticed a lot of his opponents would get tired of that. On the side that he's motioning the crosser out, they'd put that purple zone out there, obviously, and they put it on both sides because they're like, okay, you can't hit me with a slant, can't hit me with a crosser. Well, he'd get, pretty much outthink them and be like, okay, listen, I'm going to do my little motion glitch. I got a fade I can hit you with. And then he'd have 99 speed Santana Mouse out there just cooking everyone. So I want to go into instant replay to show you how this route gets by the man press. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on my man Chris Godwin. Now, this is a perfect spot to snap before he's about to set because he's literally about to be in the motion of setting. You snap it, and he gets that running lead on the corner. The corner cannot press him here. You see how everyone else is pressed? Cannot press this corner. It is literally impossible because it is a motion streak. And the nice thing is it's a motion fade as well, so I'm able to go ahead, snap that ball, and beat my man. Even though he's a little bit faster, I'm able to go ahead and beat my man right there, swerve to get a nice possession catch. Even if you were to click on, that would be a tough pick to catch just because the corner does have his back turn, doesn't have the best angle. It'd be very hard to break up. So right there, I'd honestly give my honest opinion and say our receiver has the advantage right here. Last but not least, Fancy absolutely loves these curls with his running back, and so do a lot of these TNC guys. So if they notice you're in a zone look and they can pick that out, well, we're going to go to the same type of play, but at the same time, we're going to go ahead and put you on a curl. Now, obviously, this curl will either sit or you can go ahead and throw the out route, the option route. So this option route is very deadly. And you're going to notice he is probably going to sit in the middle of the field to where we could step up in that pocket, and I can go ahead and fit that in right there. Now, I know it doesn't seem like a big gain, and you're only throwing for maybe 1 or 2 yards, but at the same time, this type of route can win you ball games because if you can compile a bunch of those, your opponent's going to be thinking, oh, I got to take away that route. I got to make sure I take away that route because he's going to hit me with it all game. And honestly, I love hitting people with this route, especially since I do like my under center passing plays, but this route is still very effective. You can go ahead and hit him, obviously right there, and then air truck your way up the field with Leonard Fournette. These three variations of double in sail I showed you, the first one is mainly his main, obviously, go-to play. You can do a lot of variations out of it, but that first setup is the main way he likes to set it up. And then I showed you pretty much how this play right here alone, if you have a couple route chems, good route runners, you can absolutely annihilate any man defense. Doesn't matter if they have one step ahead. You have a very, very good shot at absolutely killing that defense. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, smack a like. Remember guys, comment today's word of the day, fancy, and don't forget to roast me. I love reading y'all's comments, man, even though they're kind of hurtful. Guys, this is JTibbs signing off, and as always, peace.